Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to explain to you guys when and why you should be going each English landmark based on age. Now, obviously let's start with the Feudal Age landmarks. In my opinion, you should be going Council Hall if you want to be investing into Feudal Age. And the reason behind this is that longbows are very strong units, and if you're investing into Feudal Age, you should at least 90% of the time be going Longbowmen. Probably Longbowman Spearman for the English. Just a very strong combo. And unless you're massing Horsemen, which there are scenarios, but very rare scenarios, you want to be going Council Hall over the King in extended Feudal Age gameplay. And this goes for 1TC and 2TC gameplay. This game in particular, I decide to deny relics, go for second TC versus a fast castle strategy. And this is versus Zushi, which is very popular in this matchup to go for a fast castle. And I predicted that in this game. So my strategy was intended to beat his strategy. And the idea behind that is to just outboom him on second TC while staying alive by building as many units as possible and trying to harass his food, drugs, still get that economic. So if I had gone the king instead of having gone the council hall in this game, and we can show you in a bit here, but if I had gone the king instead of going the council hall this game, I wouldn't have been able to make so many units so quick to actually be able to pressure him and, well, defend myself, right? Um, I would have needed to build production first and then attacked him, and by that time, he very well could have overwhelmed me at that point. The king in particular is a very good landmark if you want to be going for a fast castle. The idea behind that is, number one, the king works very well with knights. Obviously, you're going to be healing knights all over the map. And if you're going for a fast castle strategy, pretty much always want to be going knights. There's no other reason to really go fast castle. And then not go knights. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Knights is just a very easy way to secure map control, and they're one of the strongest units, if not the strongest unit, immediately out of Castle Age. So that's when you want to be going King. Again, Council Hall if you want to invest in Feudal Age. King if you want to go for a fast castle kind of strategy. And this, again, works for 1TC and 2TC. So yeah. Now, I'll show you guys a little bit of this game of why Council Hall was so beneficial here. I'm getting units out very quick. Kill the Shao and Monk. One king might not be able to do this, especially when he has knight support coming. Longbowmen help me kill the monk, and obviously I go for the spearmen, kill the knights. Again, the longbowmen are going to help me tremendously, allowing me to poke his economy. Whereas if I was to go the king, this pressure would be delayed. So yeah, let's move on to Castle Age landmarks now. Now, Castle Age landmarks for the English are very complicated in the sense that I think even more so than the Feudal Age landmarks, I think there is a time and a place where you want to be going Council Hall and you want to be going the King landmark. And like I mentioned, it's when you want to be investing into Feudal Age and when you want to go a fast castle. The King's Palace and the White Tower can often really honestly go either one. However, what I recommend is if you are number one playing an immobile comp, especially if you already have 2TC, I recommend going White Tower because you need some defense, right? especially if you're moving out on the map, if you don't want to be at home the entire time. Number 2, I recommend going for the White Tower if you need the production. Now, in this game, I don't need the production, but very often, going for White Tower is a fast caster kind of strategy with the second TC, right? Because you have that economy. And also because it allows you to have knights immediately out on the map. And that's why second TC White Tower is such a popular strategy. And it's not too hard to think of why, right? Have 2 TC already, so you don't really need a King's Palace as much. And you have 0 production, right? You have your King Landmark, and that's it. So you need some production to start producing knights immediately. That just works tremendously well with the White Tower. So in this game, I do decide to go for the White Tower, and that is mostly because, first of all, I'm already ahead on eco. I'm 2 TC to 1 TC. Second of all, because he has that mobility advantage. So it just allows me to protect these farms and secure my read that I already have. Now, like I said, there are many times that you do want to be going for the King's Palace, and the King's Palace is often better in situations where the game is a lot closer. And the reason behind that is because it allows you to get that economic advantage where otherwise you wouldn't have, right? Think of you're rushing your opponent, the villager, you haven't really killed too many villagers, the game is very close, but you have enough resources to age up. King's Palace is often better in this situation because it allows you to age up and also secure that economic advantage, which is so important in Age of Empires 4. Especially if you're rushing, you do have that production, you have that barracks, maybe you have 2 barracks, you have the council hall, you're playing extended feudal so you win council hall, right? You don't need the production from the White Tower as much. So what you do need is you need the second TC. Which is just it's just perfect for English. The more I think about these landmarks, the more I think, wow, English is a really nicely designed civ for new players. Because every single landmark in this with English has a purpose, and it progresses you into knowing the game better in life. There's a reason why you want to go King's Palace, and there's a reason why you want to go White Tower. And in that situation where you are rushing, where you have the production, but you don't have that TC, and you need that economic advantage, that is when you go King's Palace. And like I said, they're both great landmarks, right? So don't ever feel bad when playing English if you feel forced to go for one landmark, because it's always a strong landmark. Now, let's move on to Imp Age. Obviously, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, please comment. I love teaching you guys more about the game. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are very good players in your own right, but I love teaching more about the game. I love this game in general, so please feel free to ask as many questions as you want. But again, let's move on to Imp Age. Now, maybe you want to pause the video and think of, in this situation, what landmark would I go? Right? I'll give you some context, okay? I'm winning the game. I have production. Production is a very important part of English, because every single landmark is giving you an opportunity to add additional production to your civilization, right? Council Hall, White Tower, the Wormguard, what's it called? The Wormguard Keep, maybe? I can't even remember. But the point is that if you don't have production for a certain age, there's always an opportunity to add more production. So you have to keep that in mind when playing English. So I'm winning. I have production, and yeah, I think that about covers it. I think production is the most important part when thinking about Imp Age because, guys, Wormgoat Army is just giving you a shit ton of production, and especially if you're playing very greedy or tight English, where you're aging up to Imperial very fast with very limited amount of production. You want to be going for that Wormgoat powers. Because it adds so much value so quickly to your production. It allows you to spam out so many units very fast. Now I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. I decide to go Berkshire this game. And again, it is simply because I have the production and I don't need the Wormgoat army. I already have 3 bow axes, I have that white tower which is giving me even more production, and I have the council hall. Additionally, I'm already very far ahead in this game. So what I want to do is I want to pressure him with the Berkshire, and I want to end this game, just straight up. Now, like I mentioned over and over again, there's nothing wrong with going Wormgoat on me here, but the fact is that I'm so far ahead that doing a forward Berkshire like this is such an easy way to end the game. That there's nothing he can even do. I have a massive military advantage. I point at the Berkshire right in front of his face, and I just continuously spam units on my bow axes, my white tower, my council hall, and it's very difficult for him at this point. Now, the situations where you would want to be going Wormgoat, again, you have a king landmark, you might have the white tower, maybe you have 1 or 2 bow axes, but you really don't have too much production outside of that. That's when you want to be going Wormgoat, and you want to be spamming units out of that production landmark. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this is a cool video to do with. However, unfortunately, with a lot of civs, there are not as many options for landmark choices as there is for English. I think this is a great video to show you guys because with English you can really do anything. You really can, and it's one of the things I love about English a lot is that you can always go any landmark in the game, and it really is fun, and it really kind of walks around your strategy and walks how you should be playing, and yeah, it's a good way to get better as a player, I think, understanding which landmarks you should be going when. So, yeah, take care guys, and I'll see you on the next one.